Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be trying French tips for the first time. So I'm going to be practicing my French tip because I feel like that's just one of the main styles and classic styles that is just completely timeless. So that is the first thing that I want to learn to do before I really try to dabble into anything else. I feel like you really got to start with the basics first before trying to do anything else. So I have here one of my square nail tips. I actually sized this according to my own nail size, so this would fit my thumb. And I'm just going to be using just obviously two colors here. This one is one of the, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've just been saying CJ or CJ. That's honestly just how I've been saying it. Yes, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to be using like a nude color for the base, and I'll be using like a milky white, but I definitely should not have used a milky white. I definitely need to get more of an opaque white color so that it'll actually stand out as a French. It actually ended up looking nude, and you'll see what I mean as I go along with this process. Sorry that I'm even recording from the side like this. I honestly wanted to see if it would just change back to you know, the YouTube horizontal size, but it ended up looking like this. But I'm keeping it anyways because it's showing just me polishing the nail. I'm still trying to figure out how to polish the nail really nice to have it give that smooth, clean, and flawless look. I'm just going to cure this now just for about 20 seconds. I'm honestly not sure how far I should be holding it from the nail. I tried not to hold it too close and moved it around a little bit just to see if that would help. So now that the nail is semi-cured, I'm going to start using the M001 gel polish, which is the milky white that I'll be using for the French tip for this specific nail. What I like about these gels is that they're pretty thick. Even though they're from Temu, they're still pretty thick. I actually ended up using a Skyflakes lid just to put a little bit of the gel polish on so that it'll make it easier for me to just like draw my fine liner brush in there or dip it in there and then just start painting the nail. So this brush I also got from Temu. I think it's all right. Then again, it's my first ever set of brushes that I'm ever using for nails. So I think as I progress and go along, I'll definitely find the brush that I like the best and what works for me the best. So I'm just working with this one for now. And, you know, I feel like you could always have a product like this work for you, like the brush. You just have to know how to use it accordingly. as you could see, as I continued polishing the nail, you could tell that the white is too transparent for this nail base color. So this is why I have to get something more opaque. Honestly, I kind of figured maybe it was a little bit more opaque than this, but now I know that I need to get a different one, something that really is more opaque, because this just honestly ended up looking like an ombre, but not in a good way. I'm just taking my gel brush and using a little bit of 99% isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just kind of cleaning up the smile line and just the end lines, because I noticed that my lines at the base of the nail, it's a little too wide, and then by the time I get to the smile line, it ends up being like, it looks weird pretty much. So I definitely, that's my biggest struggle. Like, shout out to all the nail techs, nail artists out there, because I really sat here talking about, oh my gosh, the French tip actually looks so easy. I think I could get it on the first try, or like, you know, my first couple tries, I'll get it. It is not as easy as it looks. You know, no one really shows the humble beginnings of where you started. You only get to see where they're at now and just what their skills are at now through all the practice that they've done. So I just wanted to document the whole process for me and my journey with doing nails, and show you guys what a real noob really looks like, just starting out in nails. Nothing, no design, like no nail art, no nothing. So I'm literally learning everything as I go along, just by watching YouTube videos. So because the milky white is too white, I'm actually going to use a different shade. So this is a light green. I actually call it the pistachio green, even though that's not the name, but it reminds me of a pistachio ice cream that I currently have in my freezer. So that's why I named this color pistachio. And you'll see what I mean as I continue to paint the nail, and then you see the final polish on the nail tip. Now you could see more of the actual A shape that I made. I actually struggled just to make this A, and I didn't think I would struggle trying to make an A on a nail, but this definitely was a bit of a struggle for me. I don't know if it's because the nail is shorter than most nail videos that I see, because majority of them are on longer nails. So I'm not sure what was going on here, but you know, people say, oh, it's like one of the easiest methods. So I was like, okay, I'll try the A method and see how it works. But honestly, I've come to find out as I continued practicing, I didn't record my second half of my practice, but anyways, as I kept practicing on these training cards, I realized it's easier for me to just kind of draw the curve or the smile line, and then just kind of like polish it in, and then clean it up with a gel brush and some alcohol. To me, that's easier. And I know it's kind of like you should like start with something more simple, like doing the A, just to kind of gain the structure of how the French tip should look, or how I want it to look personally. I lost my train of thought, so I'm just gonna say that the A method, it can work. I still want to practice using the A method, but I kind of like just kind of going with the flow and just kind of doing it and then filling it in, and or polishing in the tip and then just cleaning up around the smile line area and really like have a nice clean shape. I kind of like that a little bit better. So yeah, as you can see, the polish for the tip, I love this color so much, and I love just like the base color with this color. It just looks really nice, and it really does remind me of the ice cream that I have in the fridge. I should do some pistachio inspired nails, like pistachio ice cream inspired nails. It's one of my favorite ice creams. So right here, I'm just adding a second coat for this nail. I'm not really sure if I like brushing it in like this. I feel like it requires me to have to clean around the smile line too much, and I think I might have to watch a couple more videos to see how they kind of have a nice filled in French tip without me using the polish brush. I actually did end up using the gel brush because I have two of them. I used my other gel brush to just actually paint the tip of the French tip. So I'm just trying different things as I go along, and I'm just going to clean it up a little bit more here. And it's already starting to look better than the first one that I did. Even though you can't really see the French tip for the first one, you still kind of have an idea from whatever little bit you can see of what it was looking like. And this looks so much better than the first one already. nails are completed, and honestly, for my first time, I'm proud of myself. This is decent for my first time. Yeah, I like that you could kind of still see the thumb even though the white isn't too opaque, but you could obviously tell the difference as I continue going along. So the index finger, hold on. Okay, so the thumb and the index finger, or some people call it the pointer finger, kind of look the same, except the index finger looks a bit more cleaned and polished. Obviously, the lines around the sides could be cleaned more, but could work on that. This one, the middle finger, is a little bit more narrow in this smile line, as you could see, and I kind of like that. And the same thing with the ring finger. It's more narrow, and this one looks so clean. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.